Welcome to the live stream, everybody. As we all know, Bitcoin has been on an absolute tear the last few days here. Which, if you have been following along on my YouTube channel, this shouldn't have taken you by too much of a surprise. I have been warning for about a month now that I think a lot of people are about to be blindsided by the bullish price action to come, and that's exactly kind of what happened here. So let's just take a look and see what we are currently seeing with the market with Bitcoin here. I don't know if any of you guys did see the video I made last night, but I made an interesting point about the timing of what's going on right now. I will hop into the indicators as well, obviously. Basically, I'm going to start with a little Bitcoin analysis and then start zooming in and bringing up the indicators. And if anyone has any questions about them, obviously feel free to ask at any time. But yeah, to start off with the health of Bitcoin. Yesterday, I was talking about an interesting time pattern that we've had, and that's that our bull market tops end up they end almost exactly 4 years apart. So this cycle back here, November, December 2013. This cycle back here, November, December 2017. And our latest cycle, we're looking at November 2021. So basically exactly 4 years apart. And on top of that, our bear market bottoms do the exact same thing. So we had January 2015, we had December, January 2019, and so far we're looking at kind of that November, December, so very close. Very interesting to see that these cycles last it just plays out so perfectly that it seems. Obviously, if more people start to notice this, it may just end up not happening anymore. Market makers may look to take advantage of anyone looking at that situation. But as it stands right now, that's kind of what I'm seeing. And that's also going for what we're currently seeing right now. I have been talking about how this old support level, which should turn into resistance, reminds me so much of back in the day when we were trading below the 6K range. This is just such a similar thing. This was just basically that support of the first half of the bear market. And that's kind of what we saw back here before we took that dump to the downside as well. So obviously, from a technical perspective, that would be an absolutely perfect support resistance flip, but I am having PTSD from getting wrecked back here. I thought this was such an obvious short to take, and I remember many people, not just myself, were getting absolutely wrecked on shorts there. And that's just kind of what I'm seeing right now is if we were going to see a rejection here, I don't see why we would just be tapping away at this resistance for 5 weeks now. I think especially because bears generally take the elevator or jump out the window, right? So usually a rejection comes off fairly strong, and we just traded sideways for a month at this very important resistance level. So we're not seeing that rejection. The bears are not pulling the trigger, and I just think this is where we're going to get a bit of a short squeeze. Another thing is that retail traders are very heavily short right now, so that is just providing more fuel to the upside. Obviously, we're going to have volatility along the way on the shorter time frames. That's absolutely fine. In fact, as traders, that's preferred. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing for the macro health of the market at this time. Hopping over, this is also my weekly chart, just so I have the indicators up and that sort of thing. Something that I do love, you guys know that I love my trend confluence with these indicators. And so this is a 1 week chart. That would be this more immediate line here, which is looking to have a bullish cross with, what do I have for the settings here? I have the auto settings, so whatever it automatically comes with, I believe it's the 3 week, because I know with the 1 day, the trend confluence, the automatic one is the 3 day, so I'm guessing the weekly is very similar. Probably either the 3 week or the monthly, something like that. But either way, a very significant bullish cross in my opinion. Also, another thing is, I know they don't play out every time, but we got a beautiful long signal with this big engulfing candle, which did in fact change the structure of this chart, and that's what I've been harping on for a long time, you guys. We could pull back, absolutely. I mean, we could pull back towards 19K and this chart would still be bullish in my opinion, because this would be the higher low that I'm watching right now as far as bullish structure goes. I know I mentioned it every video. We had a low here, we broke it, set a lower low here. This was our lower high, and we got that beautiful, not only a break above, but a beautiful close above that level, and then just consolidated sideways for a month. So I just can't shake my bullish feeling right now. As well, we have this market flow, this faint gray line took a very steep curl to the upside, and that just shows the general flow of the market basically. So very interesting there. Obviously a few things to be a little cautious of. The oscillator 5 down here is starting to get up into this overbought territory, but one thing with that, you guys, is indicators can stay extreme, especially on a longer time frame like this. It can hang out at those levels for quite some time, and I can point that out on the RSI in a little bit. But even if we do get the red dot, which, I mean, yes, I would definitely be taking that serious, and I would be playing a little more cautiously. But as it stands right now, the structure of the chart is still bullish, and I take this price structure more, I guess, more serious than I do indicators. As much as I love these indicators, they are by far my favorite indicators out there. But I always take price structure first, and this to me just looks incredibly bullish, like I was saying. And as I mentioned earlier, the timing lines up perfectly, and I just can't shake the feeling that we're basically, you know, kind of somewhere in this level here. That's not to say, I don't want you guys to think that I think we're going absolutely parabolic. I don't think we're going to 100K or anything like that anytime soon. I'm obviously, I've been quite vocal. I'm kind of eyeing up that anywhere from basically 45 to 48K. And that would be just looking for a Fibonacci rejection right around that 618, just because we have had that play out so many times in the past. And that would also line up with a beautiful 4-year pattern, would be if we test the 618 kind of in the next, I'm going to say June, July. That would also line up with what I'm going to call the actual bull trap, because I know a lot of people were thinking even this, a lot of people were calling bull trap right at that level already. I think it's going to be much higher, because if this chart was not a weekly and it was any other time frame, it would look totally normal and no one would bat an eye about this being overbought or anything like that. Since it's a weekly, it just feels like it's so overextended, because we obviously zoom into shorter time frames. And that's how it feels on those levels. But as it stands right now, I think the market's in an absolutely beautiful position. I really do think that we bottomed. Obviously, if we break this structure down here, I will be a lot more, I guess, a lot less confident about that, just because the structure of the chart may be changing again. But I mean, I don't know. As it stands right now, the fact that we did break this level, I really do think that this was our market cycle bottom, and again, lining up with the time frames and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I really do think there's a lot going for the bulls right now. Another thing is with the oscillator 4 up top here, you can see that we were looking overextended. That would be, these orange dots up here would be basically, yeah, just overextended, so overbought. And we also had these bearish diamonds, which are bearish pivots basically. And you can see none of that mattered. Basically, we got that very quick pullback and tested some old levels of resistance. Basically, I mean, very close to this level here. Or actually, I guess more so kind of testing the support we had back here. Basically got a perfect wick to that box if we kind of went from the kill zone back here where we first found support back there. But yeah, I don't know, guys. On top of that, we also had this reversal warning. I do take those W's quite serious, and that was one thing I was worried about. I mean, there was no surprise we got this little pullback here. We had the W right at resistance of this trend confluence, everything like that. But these W's I do take quite seriously. However, the fact that, you know, we have another one here and it still looks like we're not getting rejected, that's a very powerful signal getting totally ignored. And I think that's just another sign that there's just so much bullish price action going on, basically. At this point, I don't even... I know a lot of people are concerned about the trade volume, the buy and sell volume, all that kind of stuff. There's not a ton of volume in the markets. I've never been one that watches volume as much as I should. I'm a degen. I draw colorful lines and I trade them. That's basically all there is to it. But as far as the volume goes, basically, I mean, something you got to consider is when FTX collapsed, for example, so many people got scared from exchanges and stuff like that. And everyone was pulling their crypto off exchanges into their hard storage wallets. So that just gets rid of so much of the supply and creates a bit of a supply shock. So I know I was talking about it on my YouTube channel. I know Max was talking about it. At this level, we were saying that maybe, as bearish of a situation as that is, maybe there's some bullish twist. There's going to be something that comes of that. And I was really thinking that whole supply shock. And it just feels like how our last bear market ended, basically. I was around for that, and I just remember that, yes, one thing everyone was always talking about was the lack of volume, but it didn't matter. We still blasted off from whatever it was. I think at that time we broke out of a big ass triangle around, I think it was 10K or something like that, where I flipped very bullish, and I didn't give a shit about the volume because I was just seeing it as a bit of a supply shock. You know, the big money had their bags packed, they removed their sell walls, and they are just ready to finally let retail be able to push the price a little bit because of the lack of volume. And then they obviously dump on us at the end. So I think that bull trap is going to be a little bit higher, just in my opinion anyways. But yeah, does anyone have any questions about the indicators? I don't always have the answers. I can bring up my settings. I use a few different settings depending what kind of a time frame I'm looking at and that sort of thing. Lately, you guys know I have been loving playing the 1 minute, but I've been loving having, what was I on here? I'm a degen. I'm more of a scalper than a swing trader, so I like to get into a very degenerate position, and then I'm quick to take some profits, and then I hope that my second half kind of turns into a nice running position. I believe there was a bit of an update for the indicators, but it wasn't any new features or anything yet. It was just a performance... more of a performance update at this point, but yeah, MDX was saying any day now the 1.3 will be coming out. So I think it's just a little faster and stuff with the recent update they did, but yeah, no crazy changes yet. So yeah, you guys can see that I actually don't use a lot of the things with these indicators. I keep my charts very clean. There's a few things that I really like to watch. On the shorter time frames, I guess I'm a little more picky. I'm looking for those reversal warnings and kind of along the trends. What I don't like right now is that, so yeah, like I said, I'm on the 1 minute chart. I have the volume weighted moving average set to 5 minutes. That would be this guy we're basically testing right now. My trend 2 is the 1 hour EMA, and that's just because there's no magic numbers that are gonna work versus not work. It totally, you're just using these as confluence, right? So obviously the more things that you have going in your favor, the better the odds, I guess, on your position. So it is still important to back test your own analysis, basically find out what catches your eye, because not everybody has the same trade style. I know I trade much differently than other people, and you know, nobody has to be right or wrong as long as you have back tested something and you kind of know the probabilities of your situation playing out. And that's one reason why I'm very good at ignoring the news and the state of the economy and all that kind of stuff, is just because when I went back and back tested a few certain chart patterns, I got a very good success rate on back testing 2 years worth of charts. And when I was back testing it, and that would be with like the replay feature on TradingView, so the chart was playing out in front of me, and I have no idea what was going on in the news and in the economy or anything like that. Yeah, it probably wasn't as crazy as what it's been lately, but you know what? At that time, I was just taking math. Basically, yeah, doesn't matter what's happening in the world. Did the pattern work or did it not work? And I just find that technicals far outweigh fundamentals, because fundamentals can also be misunderstood, and then you have two places you can go wrong. You could be wrong with analyzing the fundamentals, and you could be wrong analyzing the charts. Whereas I just like to cut down that potential, and I'm just not an emotional person, so I just stare at charts and draw colorful lines, like I said. But yeah, these are my degen settings. Like I said, trend 1, 5 minutes, trend 2, 1 hour. I really love, one of my favorite things to do with these indicators is spotting these reversal warnings along these trends. I don't like right now, even though we got one along this 5 minute, I don't like that we're below the 1 hour. I would really like to see that basically these trends line up. So if we could get another bullish cross, have the hourly, what happens when it flips to green, it would just basically drop down, it would turn green, and then this would kind of cross above. And that's where I really like to start looking for those, when the trends are both aligning like that. And yeah, like I said, reversal warnings along them, that's kind of what I've enjoyed looking for. And if you can find like a double bottom, or let's say more confluence from the other indicators, like one thing that I love is when, let's see if I can find an example here. Actually, here's one that never worked out, because not everything has to work out, right? So what I really do like to see with these indicators is the oscillator 4 up here to have a bullish pivot, the ALGO 3 to have a reversal warning right along the hourly trend confluence, and we had a big green dot, bullish pivot, I guess, on the, what's that, the oscillator 5 here. So yeah, nice oversold conditions, big green dot there, so that's beautiful. And as well, we even had the money flow going for us there. Obviously, this is a 1 minute chart, so I mean, it doesn't take much to change what's happening in the market. But that's one of my favorite setups. Even though that never worked out, that is absolutely one of my favorite positions to take, just because you see all the indicators lining up. And even the fact that I have my colors reversed for my candles, because I want the bullish indicators to line up with a bright green candle, basically. So when the indicators are all flashing bright and green to me, that's just one of my favorite times to snipe a long position. Someone got an email from TradingView about the update. It just update automatically. Besides the MDX indicators, do you check another indicator, RSI? Stoch RSI, obviously fibs. I'm not sure about the email. I haven't even updated this, to be honest. I'm behind on updating basically everything in my life right now. Just been busy. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that email. As far as other indicators, the only other indicator I use, honestly, is the RSI. Here, I'm just gonna get rid of a few things here, just to clean things up. Yeah, you can see I do have the RSI down here, and that's because one of the patterns that I talked about backtesting the hell out of is double bottoms and double tops with bullish and bearish divergences on the RSI. But there is a specific way I look at it. I actually played it out. I think it was this video here. Yeah, Bitcoin day trading session. If you're interested in seeing how I look for double tops and bottoms, check out that video. And you know what? We might even see one happen since we're watching the 1 minute chart here, kind of showing how I'm going to analyze the charts with these indicators. We might actually see one, but if we don't, I think you can skip ahead to like 20 or 25 minutes or something in that video. Might even be a little later, but I do talk about a specific double top pattern that I really like. And unfortunately, like probably 5 or 10 minutes after making that video, closing the stream, the position absolutely took off. We dumped off a cliff, and it was unfortunate that I never caught the whole move, but you can see it anyways in that video. But yeah, like I said, I mean, it is nice that we got this W off this 5-minute trend here. We also have the oscillator 5 down here with a regular bullish divergence as well as a little green dot. We don't have the green money flow. I'm a little bit hesitant about this just because we're below the 1 hour trend, because that's my bread and butter. I fucking love the 1 hour trend. That is my favorite part about these indicators, you guys, is that hourly trend confluence. I just love that you can, something these indicators are great at is just like, you can be on any time frame, but you can have a general idea what other time frames are doing, and that's so valuable when you don't have to be flip-flopping through charts a million times, because you just have a general view of the markets. Honestly, I don't even use, and this is just me personally, I don't really use the long and short signals because I find that they cause me to FOMO a little bit. Art of War, know your enemy. I am by far my worst enemy. So if I can avoid getting FOMO, I do. So I really just look for positions along these trends, basically. What I want to see right now, I would love to see us get a third touch point of this triangle that's playing out and see some kind of a break to get us back above that hourly trend confluence. Because one thing I haven't mentioned with this trend confluence is right now we're starting to be a little bit choppy, right? We're starting to chop around a little bit, so that indicator is better in a trending market. It's unfortunate that we lost it like that, but I don't know if we're just going to turn from basically a bullish trend just straight into a bearish one. I can kind of see us flip-flopping a little bit. I mean, we already have, to be honest. We're just flip-flopping around that thing, so I don't know how much weight to give it right now, but I don't know, just the trend is your friend, so I am very interested in playing positions off the 1 hour trend confluence when it does flip back bullish. To be honest, I don't have an interest in shorting the market right now. I could absolutely miss out on some heinous gains if we do end up dumping back down. You guys know I was talking about the potential. Where am I here? Yeah. I was talking about the potential that, this was a very significant, actually, that's funny. I never even noticed that. So this triangle that I was pointing out in my videos on the 1 hour, that's one reason why I was so bullish and I was ready for this move 3 days in advance. You guys who watched, it was this video here. I was preparing for this. I talked about not just this triangle, but I think we were just trading around this area, and I was talking about if we flip this line into support, I think that we would get a third touch point of the triangle, some kind of a pullback, because I like to have 3 touch points of a pattern before it breaks. Any less than that, and I'm a little more hesitant because I think it's more of a breakout where maybe if we would have broke out before our third touch point, we might have found some sort of a double top or something like that instead. But since we got that third perfect touch point and broke out, I was ready for this move, and I got a beautiful long and rode this up. Something I just noticed is look how perfectly those W's line up. Those are right on those 3 touch points. I didn't even see that before, but that is absolutely beautiful. That is such a perfectly defined resistance line. And like I said, after 3 perfect touch points like that, I start to take those patterns a little more serious. I know a lot of people don't like trading patterns. This is one of my criteria, is that I need 3 touch points before it breaks. If there's only 2, I'm considering it a fake out until proven otherwise. But with 3, I'm a lot more likely to take the breakout position, basically. Do I ever take trades if there's a TP near the trend confluence? Yeah, it totally depends. I don't only take trades if there's a W along the trend confluence. There's a lot of different types of positions that I get into. But let's say we had, like you said, a take profit from the indicators. Actually, let's hop back to the 1 minute just so I can start bringing things up and we can see more of them. Look at that triangle forming on the 1 minute, hopefully. Let's hop into my settings here. I will add take profits, for example. So like I said, guys, I generally have a very clean chart. I don't have much on it. But if I had a TP near the trend confluence, for example, I would absolutely consider it. Like right here, for example, we got a TP with our third touch point of that support line. That's a beautiful little position that a guy could have taken. Or let's say you have a TP with a double bottom or some kind of a bullish divergence at an important Fibonacci level. There's a lot of different things that I will consider entering a position from. I just like talking about the W reversal warnings near the trend confluences just because it's something that I really do take serious, and one thing that I really love with these indicators, it's one of my favorite positions to play. Because another thing, where can I find a good example? I know the other day I was telling someone about it. I don't really see a good example right now, to be honest, but, well, actually, no, I do. I see a perfect example. Right here, for example, so let's say you take this W position here. So let's say, where did that candle close? Let's say you get in at about this level. Well, look what happens is we did lose this trend. Obviously, it's not the 1 hour trend, it's the 5 minute, but kind of just, this was an easy example to point out. But you get into your position here. It doesn't happen to work out. The trend flips. Well, look what happens is you could have still made a profit on this position, even though the call was wrong. Like, it did dump to the downside, but first you actually got a retest of that trend after it flipped. So a lot of times what I love with this trade setup, with this strategy, is that a lot of times, even if it goes against you, you still have the opportunity to either get out of your position at break even, or even reduce the size of your position to reduce the risk if you still want to be in that position. Or, like I said, even possibly making a profit on a position that was actually an incorrect call. So that's one thing that I really love with this strategy. Hopefully that makes sense. See, like even this, like I said, little hesitant because the 5 minute is below the 1 hour, but that W near that confluence, I mean, as obviously it's a small move because it's a 1 minute, but I mean, as far as a scalp goes, boom, that like you got a good entry there. I'd really like to see us get a third touch point on this triangle, some kind of a pullback, and then break and retest. I would definitely consider degen o'clock. Stepping up my degen game. The W stands for reversal warning. So warning is the easier way to remember it. Yeah, stock poker. Yeah, exactly. Very interesting that this support line has those W's and TPs and stuff like that along them. Like, well, yeah, and the resistance here. You can see that we got TP at the top, TP at the second touch point. Hopefully see like a TP or a W on a third touch point and then break. I would definitely consider that an important level of resistance getting broken. So that's where I would be interested in taking a bit of a breakout position. I don't know how likely it is we get a measured move on a 1 minute, to be honest. Let's say even from wherever it breaks out from or whatever. I mean, we could just be going back up. That lines up quite well with this resistance we had back here. And actually, speaking of that, I wonder if it lines up with a Fibonacci. Boom, right at the 786 pretty much. You guys know that the 786, 886 is my favorite pocket of Fibonacci lines. I find they're respected quite often. I mean, there's one of those things where, I mean, that measured move may line up very close. Obviously, there's a little bit of leeway. It could end up breaking out from a lot of different places. And, you know, it might not happen, or it might break to the downside. How low would that take us? Because, I mean, our support has 3 touches, right? So we could break out that way too. And I'll just pretend this line is flipped around or whatever. There, just to make it a little less awkward. Lines up somewhere in the area of a level I already have mapped out as support for some reason. Let's check it out. I think I was looking at this earlier as a higher low because we broke this level. So our higher high came back down. That was our higher low on a very small time frame. After we broke above that, then we obviously pulled back to this level. And there was no close above this level, so I'm still considering this kind of our higher low. I mean, we did break below it, but it was a 1 minute wick, so I'm not giving too much credit to that at this time. Let's just reverse a few things here, clean up the chart. But yeah, like I said, a measured move break from there could definitely line up somewhere down at that level at around 29.4k, somewhere in there. Let's just clone this guy. Doesn't have to be perfect, but a couple potential targets if we do break out of that line. But like I said, I do want to see a third touch point first. If we just break out right now, it loses a little bit of credibility to me, honestly, just because we only have those 2 touch points. I would love it if it just does break out, but I just have a feeling that then we might be getting shut down a little quicker. Maybe just a fake out, some sort of a double top, triple top, something like that. But like I said, we get a third touch point with a TP or a W, pull back a little and then break out. That's something I'm interested in. Bring up the other indicators. I'll even keep the RSI up. I am going to get rid of these fibs just because there's starting to be a little too much on my screen for my liking. The oscillator 4 isn't really showing too much yet. It is kind of at the top, but it looks like the bands are breaking out. It doesn't really look like we're getting much of a rejection there yet. Oscillator 5 has nice green money flow, a little bit of a bullish dot here. RSI is getting close to that overbought area, but yeah, let's just see what happens here. Basically just gonna let the 1 minute go and we're gonna hang, and if anyone has any questions, feel free. If you want to talk, if you want to share your screen, like, anything goes, guys. We're just here to hang out, talk crypto, and have fun. So ALGO 1 and 2 actually has good stuff still. You ever use? I mostly don't, asking for a friend. Honestly, I've never used the ALGO 1 and 2. I just kind of stuck to what I know. I have seen examples of them, of some of you guys in the group talking about the ALGO 1 and 2. And I have seen some very nice calls from it, but I've just never used it myself personally. Is anyone in any positions right now? What are you guys, and like, what's everyone feeling on the market? Are you guys generally, are you bullish like me? Are you bearish? Are you kind of up in the air right now? Short term, I wouldn't be too surprised to see a little bit of a pullback, but I think the midterm trend is going to be quite bullish, to be honest. Obviously, I could be wrong on that, but in a long from 29.8k. Nice, nice. On my chart, the W will move up or down sometimes with the price and end up kind of behind the candles. Do you know why that is? Interesting. I'm not too sure why. I know my W's end up. I usually when I can't see them, it's because it's behind a trend line or something, or another signal. This TP, well, the dot is behind, but yeah, I'm not sure why that would be, to be honest. Actually, just one thing you could check. I'm sure you've done this because I've mentioned it in so many of my streams that you've been in. But for anyone new as well, if you do have any visual issues or issues in general with this indicator, make sure you either right click on any of the signals like this, or even hit the three dots and make sure your visual order is bring to front. If you're having any issues, that's very likely the cause. As well, right click on your prices on the right hand side here and make sure scale price chart only is active. Not sure exactly what that does, but I know MDX mentioned to make sure that was on, so obviously there's a reason. Just gonna shrink these a little bit. How accurate is this trend line? Can I adjust it at all? I can. Being very picky here. I don't think it gets much more accurate than that. Oh. Had this one wick below, but yeah, pretty nice trend line there as well. Well, I know I said perfect. I think I'm going to consider that perfect enough. That's pretty darn close on a 1 minute chart. So yeah, get a little bit of a rejection here, a few red candles or something like that, and then a breakout of this. I'll take it a little more serious here. Actually, yeah, at this point, just because we did have that rejection, I'd be interested in a little bit of a degen long here. Not financial advice. Always do your own research. Form your own opinions, by the way, if I take a long here. And it should probably be like 69x, right? Just getting shit ready on my other device here. Just in case. That's interesting, Sock Poker. I'll definitely do that. I'm not going to do it live right now just because I'm going to stick to what I know, but I'll definitely Google that after this. I believe I've heard this wolf wave pattern before. But yeah, it's funny, like, I understand analysis and stuff, but there's so much that you guys talk about that I have no idea. Like, my trading is so simple. Like I always say, I keep my trading as simple as me. I basically just draw lines and play them. But yeah, I'll definitely Google that because obviously it's good to know what it is. Let's check out the daily chart here. Oop. There's definitely some bearish divergences being pointed out, but we broke out from that one. We do have this one up here forming. We do have a W resistance. Yeah, we do have some bearish divergences, and it is right at this important level of resistance. I never mapped these boxes out, you guys. That's another thing if you are new to these indicators. That would actually be the supply and demand zones. I just changed the colors to make them basically support and resistance because that's how I look at them. So yeah, I haven't drawn anything on this chart. This is all done by the indicator, so very cool. But yeah, definitely at an important level of resistance. It's worth being cautious. The trend is your friend, as I said. So, I mean, on the daily chart, I mean, we could really stay above 26.6. Oops. What have I done? There, that's a level I would definitely... There, now I have something drawn out on this. But yeah, as long as we don't drop that support level, the daily is still just setting higher lows. It's a confirmed higher low. Obviously, we could have a higher low like that, but it's just the way I look at higher low structure, I don't consider it confirmed until we've broken past resistance. So obviously we had our highs here, broke above, so we have our higher high here. Lowest point between those two would be this level here, so that's my higher low structure. The fixed range volume profile tool, no I don't, and I know I should. I don't want to bring it up because again I just am not super familiar or comfortable with it, but I know I should use that one more because I have seen that provide some amazing confluence from some of the charts you guys have been pointing out in the Discord. Daily chart, didn't know you had that on your hot list. I know, Stock Poker, I'm disappointed in myself too. I actually feel really fucking dirty right now. I'm gonna have another shower after taking a look at the daily and weekly chart like this. I gotta get back to here we go, back to what I know. There, we got our third touch point rejection, and now let's tackle that. Let's smash through that resistance. Let's do it while we're live. Yeah, I'm so much more comfortable on this chart. Oh, look at that reversal warning going long. We're going to break out. I'm starting along. I'm going to add to it if we get that breakout. Yeah, let's degen it up. Fuck it. YOLO. 69X. LFG. And when I say 69X, you guys, I'm using a small position size, alright? I'm not actually, like, going nuts with the position size. It's just fun to do. Because really, just with a higher amount of leverage like that, I'm not changing my position size. It's all for the lulz. Watch us just fucking dump. We'll hit my other target instead. I'll play the wrong one. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Yeah, one reason I don't think we'll get this measured move is because we do have that hourly trend confluence above us. something I gotta take serious there. It is one of my favorite things, but like I said, I really don't think we're necessarily trending bearishly right now, right? So come on, let's get a close above so that I can try and snipe an additional entry on the retest if we do close above it. And guys, obviously the 1 minute is not for everybody. I'm just doing this to kind of show you how I analyze charts live with these indicators. It doesn't have to play out well. This is just kind of how I use them quite often. And yeah, trading the 1 minute can definitely lead to things like over trading, over leveraging, revenge trading, all those horrible habits that we know we shouldn't have. So be cautious if you're going to be playing these degen timeframes. It does result in degen behavior. I am not a good influence on people, so be careful listening to me, legends. I encourage degenery. Did we close above? Oh, we did close above. That's it. Adding a little bit. I moved the market, leggies. I totally didn't move the market. I'm a minnow in the sea. Yeah, I know TradingView does have a 1 second chart. I don't even have the top tier TradingView. You know what? That's a bad idea. I shouldn't get it. That opportunity should not be in my grasp. Oh, I know the 1 second chart would be cool. There's a lot of things in life that I know I'll enjoy too much, so I refuse to ever try once. And the 1 second chart would fit that description. It would be sweet to catch a nice breakout on stream here this time. I'm going to be taking profits if we get near this trend confluence. Not all my profits. You guys know I love taking partial profits just in case the position doesn't work out. And then I like to leave some run because I love when a scalp turns into a runner. Or a scalp into a swing, I guess. What did my position end up being? 29. Just to throw it up there. Just because at this point, if we break back into the triangle, I'm going to lose a lot of faith in it. I think I'm going to... have a fairly tight stop. Like below this trend. Since it is such a degen position on the old 1 minute, I usually have a pretty tight stop. Honestly, I'm considering bumping it up to break even just because I would not like to see us lose this support. Resistance support flip. Because like I said, I think it's, as far as a 1 minute chart goes, an important level because it has those 3 rejections. Would have loved to have a TP or a W along this third one because it was technically off a little bit, but I don't know. That's a wiggle room that I'm going to allow. So far, so good on this W. On balance, volume, triple bearish divergence, definitely something to consider. Absolutely. Oh, it looks like those bands are about to break out on your chart. On the RSI, nice downward sloping resistance line on the RSI there. Okay. Yeah, I see that wolf pattern. Yeah, that's basically exactly how mine looks, hey? Almost. Oh yeah. See, Leggies, you can be a degen if you know, if you quote unquote know what you're doing. I'm considering I'm gonna bump up my stop loss. I don't want to lose anymore. Even a little profits to cover the fees. Share it with the group for those who never tuned in. You know, I'm up 20%. I might actually take a little profits. Ah, fuck, who am I kidding? No, I'm not. Uh-oh, the indicator thinks I should. You know what? I'm gonna skim a little off the top here. Gonna close once. What would that be? 1/7 of my position. And like I said, I'm going to take a little more. I'm going to give a little room. Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to take a little more. Because that's the thing, guys, is obviously trading short time frames is dangerous, but the big problem that a lot of people have when they're trying to trade these degen timeframes is they refuse to take profits. They look for a home run trade Let's say you're trading the 1 minute hoping to get a 4-hour move or even an hour move, anything like that. Just like I said, I'm very quick to start closing my position, and then I like to leave at least half run with break even just in case I happen to catch a sweet swing. Abort, abort. The only thing I'm gonna actually, I won't go there. Someone's sharing the one oh fuck yeah. Beautiful 1 second chart there. Look at that bullish cross. I mean, you guys who aren't in the stream can't see this because someone else is posting it. But I love that Pete no stop is one of the emojis. I wish that guy was still in here all the time. He's so busy doing his own YouTube and stuff. Man, that guy's a true legend. And actually, speaking of that, I want to give him a shout out. Here, Pete no stop. Especially if you're interested in everything happening with Celsius and everything, this guy has done, and this is one of MDX's best buds. He has done such an amazing job keeping up with the whole Celsius debacle. Truly motivated guy, really crushes it with his channel. We started our channels kind of around the same time, and he is crushing me in subscribers. This guy is nailing it. True legend. Boom, look at that 1 hour trend confluence. Fuck, that thing is good. Even if we smash through, you can tell that it's obviously a level of interest. Thump, you're more of a degen than I am. The 1 second with the 15-second trend confluence. I'm getting a little jealous over here. I don't know how long I want to let this stream run. Well, more so the recorded part. Obviously, I can hang out longer after I stop the stream, but I'm scared to end it because if this turns into a beautiful position, I want it to be caught on video. Just so people can see kind of how I use these indicators and everything too, because everyone uses them a little bit different. I know some people like to go off the long signals. The trade setup would be another thing. Here, let's just see if these have shown up. Oh, beautiful entry there. Really close to mine. That's funny. So were the take profits. That's really funny. Yeah, like a lot of people love this part of the indicator too. And honestly, my favorite part about this trade setup isn't so much the entry. I mean, obviously it does nail it sometimes. But I just like to pick my own entries. That's just my personal... I just don't blindly follow anything or anyone, no matter how good they are. So I like my own entries, but as far as take profits, I'm also guilty of holding positions too long and wanting them to turn into a home run trade. And this, what I really like about this is it does show some take profits levels, just so that it really slaps you in the face with it. Because you never go broke taking profits, right? Also, another thing to watch for, Leggies. Sometimes you'll get a long signal, and then you'll pull back to very close to the stop loss, and you'll see like a firm planted like couple candles here, and then just blast off from there. So sometimes you can end up having such a tight stop loss by using this feature. Where I like to have my stop losses a little bit looser, but even if you did like just went a little past just in case this one gets wicked out, that's such a tight stop loss if you can get into that kind of a position. And then also on top of that, let's say you do get that entry really close to the stop, where let's say you would lose, even on 100x, you would lose 4%, whereas if you hit the top one, you would be hitting 37%. So all of a sudden that's not a 1 to 3 risk reward, it's actually more like a 1 to 10. So that's just an interesting thing to watch for if you do use this. Oh, lost someone, had to go to sleep. That's fair. Like I said, I think it's pretty late for a lot of you guys. Stock poker, absolutely. Yeah, that's beautiful too. Nailed it. So what you're showing me, I know nobody else can see this. They're still just watching mine, but for you here, so that is automatically showing you where the target was, and it was actually that accurate, hey? Oh, I really want to see us flip that. Look at the angle that the 5 minute trend is curling to the upside. I would love to see a bullish cross and then find some kind of a W along the hourly trend confluence to add to my position again. Because hopefully at that point, it's a little bit higher and I can update my stop loss a little bit to still be in a risk-free trade, but get a beefed up position. That's something I love to do too. Be careful with that though, you guys, when you're getting into that level of degenery, adding and taking away from positions and stuff. Just be careful with that, because very often when I add to a position, I end up regretting it. When I do it with this hourly trend confluence, if it's in a trending market, oh man, it can play out absolutely beautiful. I know I've had where you get on a couple day run where the hourly trend confluence, every time you get a W along it, it just takes off again. And I've had that happen, and every time I see a W, and at that point when it's trending so strong, I just start setting blind orders. I update my stop loss so I know I'm not going to take a loss on the position, and I'll just set a blind order along the trend confluence and hope I get it. I've gotten some nice positions doing that, but like I said, if it's not a trending market, if we're flip-flopping like this, it becomes a little less reliable to do that sort of thing. Yeah, how is this gonna do? Are we gonna break that? That's really what I'm waiting to see here. I'm gonna remove these because they're distracting me. So yeah, in case any of you are new to the group, this trade, we won't see another trade set up until it makes another call, basically. So sometimes if we just end up absolutely going for a rip, you'll still just see these here, and it might take a while to update because we'll need to just wait for the next time it's going to call for a position, basically. I know I've seen some people ask about that, so. And for anyone who isn't here live with me right now, and you're just checking us out on the YouTube channel here, this is just some of the stuff we get into in the MDX ALGO community. I do have a referral link down below. I believe you get a 15% discount or something like that. But yeah, on top of these beautiful indicators that I use, you also get to hang out with some active traders. I know there's not just me, but other people doing coaching and lessons and showing analysis, and MDX is obviously sharing some altcoin picks and all sorts of stuff. He's made some beauty picks lately. Swarm was a beautiful one. What was another one? Ultra, I know, did really well. Palm Swap's been doing pretty good, actually. So yeah, just an awesome, supportive, very valuable community to be a part of. I mean, I got into it because of the indicators, and honestly, I couldn't believe what I was missing for several months when I wasn't involved with the Discord. Super helpful people in there, just an awesome community in general. I mean, I have tons of people on my Discord now added as personal friends from the group. Just a very tight community, very cool people. So pumped to be a part of this community. Thank you guys for tuning in with me here. I don't get to talk enough crypto with my friends around home, so I love being able to talk crypto with you guys. Yeah, stock. That's kind of why I have loved. This is how I'm kind of moving forward with my streams with you guys. Is, you know, doing my basic technical analysis that I always do, answer questions about the indicators, if anyone has any, but then really zooming into the 1 minute, which is what I personally like to do. And I know I don't necessarily go over all the features all the time, just because of how I personally use them. But I love to bring it up on the 1 minute so that I can show people, you know, some strategies I personally use, just so that, you know, I think some people are so, just assume, you know, blindly take every long or every short, and that's not necessarily how it works. You still want to consider your own back testing, things that are catching your eye. I mean, if a long signal comes right as you're trading into resistance, obviously not necessarily the best idea. Same with a short right into support. Those are the kind of things that you want to take into consideration when you're looking at these indicators. Testing this level again. Hey, I am tempted to take a little more profits, but part of me wants to really be a degen here. I do kite surf. It's my favorite thing to do. One of the reasons I got into trading, I just want to get paid while I'm kiting. I kite surf on the water as well as the snow, obviously, because I'm in Canada. I do a lot of snowboarding as well. Skateboard, snowboard, wakeboard, kiteboard, all of it. I love a board under my feet. So yeah, just like, I think it was a week or two ago, I definitely broke my height record on the old snowboard with my kite. I went as fast as I could and sent it off a hill, and I must have. I'm thinking, like, it felt like one of my jumps on the water where I go like 25, 30 feet high, except I did that off of a hill that was another 20 or so feet high. Oh man, was that hang time. I just love it. As my degen behavior, you guys know I love a good rush. I'm an adrenaline junkie. You only live once. Fucking send it. Thump, I love that you said flipped red for a second but back green, because it was literally a few seconds. PR, Puerto Rico? Is that where you are? I would love to go kiting there. I've gone kiting in like Mexico, Cuba, the Dominican, Maui. When I went to Hawaii, couldn't do it on the Big Island in Hawaii. It's too rocky there. But yeah, I've kited in a few different countries. I fucking love it. Man, that hourly trend confluence, hey? I'm actually. Should I take more? This is looking double toppy. I'm really tempted to take more profits. We don't quite have the type of bearish divergence I generally like on the RSI. Usually I like to see us go from kind of way overbought, not to way overbought again, but to like kind of my red dotted line here. That's more the bearish divergence I look for on my double tops. So I'm seeing the signs, but it's not exactly the way I play those generally, and we still have the green money flow. I'm gonna regret this, but I'm gonna ignore it. Sato, were you by chance in Squamish when you saw those people? Actually, I can't tell where that is. Oh, nice. Paragliders. That's sick. Yeah, sorry, I thought the video was going to be kiters. I know I meet up with a buddy in Squamish usually every year. Usually in July or August, and we do a little kite surfing trip. Few bald eagles. America. I'm actually gonna get rid of the long and short signals because again, they're distracting me. I get distracted easily if you can't tell. I'm also going to remove the trade setup just because, I mean, it's already played out. Yeah, my stop loss right now is 29. Well, here, I may as well map that out as well. Just to basically just lock in a little more profits, cover the fees of closing the position, and it's below this trend confluence, as well as I don't really want to drop back into this triangle. That being said, being the degen that I am, I would definitely consider entering another position if we just get some kind of a wick, but get our candle bodies closing above this level. Kind of like a failed break, really. I would be interested in just jumping right back in. But right now I'm hoping this 5-minute trend confluence will end up pushing the price up and we get some kind of a bullish cross. Yeah, double top right along the hourly trend confluence. I probably should have closed like half my position, honestly. Yeah, Stock Poker, you said it, buddy. Everyone in here is just true legends. There's a reason MDX calls us all legends. You open your desktop and have no sound. Check it. Do you have no sound period or just in the Discord? If it's just your Discord, click on user settings near your bottom left and just make sure your output device is still proper. For some reason with Discord, randomly my video and audio settings will just change themselves for no reason. And then all of a sudden I can't hear you guys or can't hear myself when I go and check the recording. It's frustrating. Yeah, basically, Polex, you guys know that I was talking about this way back here. Man, did that ever take off. I actually don't hold any anymore. I'm thinking about buying again because it is actually right at a support line. I ended up selling it, but yeah, that was a beautiful play. And when I say I sold it, I think I sold most of it, like, oh, actually kind of where we are right now. That thing just absolutely exploded. 350% move to the upside. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I think it was when we were kind of getting, like, one of the reasons why I was so bullish on this was we kept getting these strong buy signals with W's and bullish divergence and just staying above that trend confluence. This is the 4 hour. That's on automatic. That's probably the daily, if I were to guess. And then again here, we got that bullish cross, if you can see that. Just absolutely took off. So these indicators did a hell of a job. Just what am I doing here? There we go. Just trying to get rid of my drawings here. Yeah, how did the daily look? I want to say there was a beautiful W on the daily there. The strong signal may have came in a little late, but I mean, it was a big engulfing candle. Ooh, actually. As far as resist support flip goes, that could be juicy. A lot of bearish divergences, though. A lot of bearish divergences. So, I don't know. I might stay out of that one for now. Did good on it. I honestly never really used Discord until basically, yeah, after I had been using the indicators for a few months. And MDX actually told me to get in the Discord. And I said, okay. And then it took me forever to figure out. But yeah, I like it now. But I've definitely seen some toxic groups and even just people on Twitter talking about toxic groups on Discord and stuff like that. Yeah, this one's just fantastic. I absolutely love this group. Guys, I don't know how long I want to keep this recording, as I mentioned, so I think I'm going to wrap up this, well, at least the recorded part, but I will actually stay with you guys and talk with you guys and whatnot while I upload stuff. I might have to stop sharing my screen just for a few minutes or whatever, but so, yeah, with that, Anyways, friends, obviously, for those of you who are here with me right now, thank you so much for tuning in. I love having these streams with you guys. It's a ton of fun. For people seeing this later on my YouTube channel, and for everyone, obviously, none of this has been financial advice. Always do your own research to form your own opinions, do your own back testing, all that sort of good stuff. But if you appreciated this video, please do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. If, like I said, if the indicators I use interest you, there's a referral link for a 15% discount down below, and that also gets you into MDX Crypto's private Discord, which is what we're doing right now. Getting insights from many active traders on top of these beautiful indicators that I personally love to use. And with that, I'm out. Stay safe, my friends. Peace.